Hey, my name's Paul Powell.
And what am I doing here? I'm here to teach you some tips for voice acting. It won't be easy.
But it'll be a great time.
Let's begin.
In this micro talk, I'm going to walk you through some basic tips. We're going to cover different types of microphones and your best setup, briefly touch on what software options you have, straight into how to warm up your voice, and then I'm going to hit you with some rapid fire tips, and then closing with the secret of voice acting. Oh. Alright, first let's talk equipment. Your optimal choice in microphones is a condenser mic. The higher quality models need what's called phantom power to record at all, which means you're going to have to connect them to either an audio interface or a mixer. Lots of options there. If you're going the big boy route, make sure that either your mixer or your audio interface has phantom power, because they don't all have it. If that's above your price point, there are plenty of USB condenser mics too. In my experience, you're going to lose a little quality, but still a good way to go. Beyond that, there are more different kinds of microphones that you could use than I could talk about for the rest of this micro talk. But a couple things to be aware of. If you think of your typical vocal microphone, like picture the microphone you see when you hear the word microphone. They're going to be more sensitive to background noise and things going on around you. And no matter what you do not try and record voice acting on your computer's microphone. You're better off even just using your cell phone than that, because it's going to come out a really, really poor quality.
Kind of like your micro talk.
No, but seriously though.
Don't do it.
Alright, you got your hardware, now you got to pick your recording software. If you have more money to spend, congratulations, get Logic Pro. I use Audacity, and it's a perfectly workable free option. GarageBand is also nice, and I'm pretty sure it comes already installed on most Macs.
This is embarrassing, but I really do not give a B flat.
Hey man, that B flat's really low. It's a vocal warm-up. I'm warming up. Yes, vocal warm-ups are actually important, and yes, you should be doing them. There are a couple different techniques you can try. You could do an awful scale, like I just did. Or there's another one that I recently learned where if you are humming, and while you're humming, you put your chin down to your chest and continue to hum as you look up to the ceiling. If you do a few different repetitions of that, it also is really good for warming up, and it'll help you hit those deeper voices that are a little lower than your natural register, if that's what you're going for. But warming up is just the first step to take care of your voice. I would recommend throughout your recording session that you always have something to drink on hand. Pro tip:
You're not a pro.
avoid cold liquids. You're going to want to drink something room temperature to maybe warm.
Yes, like myself. Right now I'm sipping on a delicious blueberry pomegranate tea. It's delightful.
And some voices are a little more strenuous than others. So after your recording session, if you're feeling a little bit sore in the throat or sort of hoarse, that's a perfect excuse to be the giant diabetic grizzly bear you've always wanted to be. Just guzzle some honey. It seriously works.
Rapid fire tips.
Alright then, your first tip is on accents. To properly do an accent, you need to think about vowel sounds. You want to start by comparing how your accent pronounces a vowel compared to your native accent. So just start by finding really short words with very pronounced vowel sounds. For example, for that Scottish accent, we could think about just the word about, where the ow sound in about in, well, the Michigan accent, I guess, is just about. Whereas my probably shoddy Scottish accent and sounds more like about. It's a O instead of an ow. Alright, next rapid fire tip is on throat and tongue manipulation. Go ahead and get your giggles out of the way. Also, let's call it aperture. Alright, so this one is the hardest to explain, but it's just something that you have to really experiment with. A couple voices you might know. As far as tongue manipulation, Gollum is pretty much all pulling your tongue to the back of your throat and whispering, basically.
Those stupid hobbitses, filthy hobbitses, Trixie, they takes it from us. We hates them, my precious.
And if you're looking for a good orc voice, the best way that I've found to do it is to really constrict your throat as much as you can without destroying your throat while doing the voice. So just taking a deep breath.
We will never be slaves.
And the most important rapid-fire tip of all, emoting. You must decide your character's 3 main emotions. For example, I have chosen wise, defeated, and angry. If you find yourself unable to express these emotions, you should give up this character. If you cannot emote multiple emotions, I repeat, abandon this character and find one that comes more naturally to you.
Alright, you lucky few listening, I'm going to let you in on the secret to voice acting. Are you ready? You just got to get into it. You got to put your self-consciousness and your doubts away, and you just got to get into it. And if you can do that, it is one of the funnest things that you will ever do, I promise. And that's all the advice I've got this time. Seriously, thanks for checking it out. Now go out there and voice some characters, you delightful weirdo.